basic bike packing for beginners lah. Okay, this one we like to thank Mr. Edmund Fu from Atmosphere Outfitters for hosting the venue for this talk. And then we would like to also introduce you to some partners of Malaysian 4Ds. Can we have Mr. Yong in front? Mr. Yong, just a brief introduction. Mr. Yong is from Quick Sport. Okay, he is a GPS vendor. So he sells a lot of this equipment related to the hobby lah. So if you're in the market for a GPS and any product related to cycling, you can contact Mr. Yong lah. And also similarly, Mr. Edmund Fu, who supported us, he sells odd lip lah, and we have actually done one workshop with him during the basic bicycle touring workshop. And we also have another guest here. Okay, Vans Bicycle Shop. Okay, can we have the representative? Okay, this is the bicycle shop owner, Vanessa, right?
Yes.
Vanessa, so thank you for your support. I think you're going to learn a little bit about bike packing here. So without further ado, I will keep the ball rolling, all right? So, okay, how many of you own folding bikes? I say majority lah, majority are folding bike owners. So you'll be asking lah, what is bike packing? All right. Now, bike packing by definition is travel with bicycle or bicycles as part of your baggage lah, by definition. So you travel by land, sea or air. So there's one point here that I want to stress is that bike packing should not be mistaken for touring, because with touring, right, you start and end your journey with the bicycle. And with bike packing, you have more flexibility. That means you want to bring your bike to wherever you want to go, set it up and ride, and then go to another place. That will fit the description very well. And then normally you have land travel. This involves land travel, and then either you travel by road or rail to your destination. That's a very basic form of bike packing lah. And also we have a friend here. She does a lot of bike packing. She did her traveling from Seremban to PD and all that, to KL with her little bike, and she actually takes the trouble to bag it and put in a bus. So I think she also have a very interesting perspective about bike packing. And on road travel, you can actually pack your bike in the trunk of a car and your luggage as well. So with this kind of facility that you have, you can cover all the small towns, all the major towns in the country. Let's say, for example, if you have a meeting in Ipoh, right, you want to spend an extra day, you want to cycle, you can include your bicycle as part of your baggage. So you can go bike packing. And then for land travel using the road, there's buses, chartered cars, and you can hire a van. With the bus, they allow you to carry a small bike. So preferably your bike, is a 20-inch or a 16-inch bike, which you can actually fold up and bag up and put in the luggage compartment. Chartered car, so you can, we prefer those old Japanese taxi with the big trunk. So you can put 2 bikes in the trunk and go wherever you want. And with the hired van, this hired van applies to people who like to travel in a group. So let's say you have 4 or 5 fellas, you plan to bike pack. Instead of taking the train or the bus express, you want more time to yourself, you can hire a van. And then one of the advantage we have is that our country, right, we have a very decent public transport system. I say decent because you can get a bus from anywhere to anywhere lah. Whether you get there on time, you miss your bus, that's a different story lah. And then you have all these no cost involved lah. You can pack your bike, put it in the express bike with no charge. They don't charge you to carry the bike. And this applies for chartered car because once you pay to hire the whole car, you can transport your bike. And van charters, I mentioned earlier about vans, so this is just an extension in a point form of what I'm talking about. And another aspect of bike packing is that Malaysia has a very interesting rail system. Sooner or later, you can travel all the way to China on rail. And this is one of the best way to see the countryside. Like this train station in Taiping, after the electric rail system is up, you'll never see this wooden shed anymore. So if you have the time, take your bike, bag it, go for a trip like that. Because why? This is what you will see, what your grandfather have seen. This is a train station in Taiping. And then touching on rail, you have the intercity rail. You can take a train from Johor Bahru all the way up to Perlis, to Padang Besar lah, And along the way, you can stop at all the station, unfold your bike, and see all the monuments, historical places within the city. You can bike pack and town hop at the same time. And then you have the latest one, electric train service. The electric train service is currently available from the Klang Valley, from KL Central, all the way up to Ipoh. Now this means you can carry your bike onto the ETS, go to Ipoh, have your Cheong fun, and then come back after that. You can do a day trip. Of course, the commuter, which is the most popular, I believe some of you guys here among the crowd, you have actually done bike packing using the commuter. And speaking about bike packing on a commuter, the standard rule is please bag up your bike. Because if you are going to push your bike into the train, they will charge you 10 ringgit lah, and consider that as an oversized luggage. Now, like I mentioned lah, the express train, they cover the entire country, the entire length, from West Coast, East Coast, and all that. You can go all the way up to to Kelantan using the train. And then if you bag up your bike, there's no surcharge lah. That's why when you're talking about bike packing, the folding bike is so convenient. Once you fold it into half, you just put a cover over it, carry it as part of your baggage onto the train. There won't be any questions asked, And also you are also respectful of other train users lah. But whenever you take a train, an express train or the ETS, right? There's a technique to travel on board. You always want to take the first row of seat in front because there's a lot of leg room there, where you can also put your bike and keep an eye on your bike. And the last one here, the commuter rail, within the Klang Valley, all the way from Tanjung Malim, you can travel to as far as Senawang. Sungai Gadut. That's quite close to Melaka, right? Quite close lah, another 100 km. Quite close, another 100 km. Anyway, commuter rail is more for the urban commuter. A lot of people nowadays they go to work. If they live in Seremban or they live in Rawang, they prefer to carry a bicycle. So inadvertently they are bike packers lah. In their own right, they are bike packers. They carry their bike as part of their luggage. And air travel. Okay, I was introduced to a participant here, a lady here, who's going to Australia to do some bicycling there. Now, air travel needs a little bit of planning. You need to plan properly on your luggage content. If you're going to pack a bicycle in the luggage, you have to know exactly how much weight you're carrying because some airline only allow you to carry 20 kilos. And if you carry extra, if your baggage that you're carrying in your bike is overweight, additional surcharge will be incurred. I think in worst cases, you pay for another ticket for air travel. And you have domestic and international. So domestic, you can travel anywhere within the country with your bicycle. You can bike pack. And international, this I won't touch because why? There are people who go abroad. You know, they go to all the way to Europe, to Australia with their bicycles, and they bike pack there. Now, like I mentioned about the flexibility of traveling with the bike and transportation, you know. So, one aspect of packing, whenever you're packing a bicycle on an airplane, make sure that all the sensitive components are properly padded. You know, your chain ring, your derailleur, everything properly taped and all that. Because the baggage handlers are not going to be nice to your baggage. They're going to throw your bag. They're going to stand on it. They're going to break dance on your bag. You know, and if you travel, you check in a folding bike. When you open your bag and your that's it becomes a two-piece bike. You know, people have actually experienced damaged frames and wheels and all that. But that one constitutes a small percentage of the horror story. Generally, if you pack your bags correctly, you won't have that issue with traveling on air. And sea travel. Now, we are very fortunate because why? Malaysia is surrounded by two coasts. You know, you can go island hopping. Okay, you can take cruise ships and all that. You can go all the way Phuket. You know, if you want, you can cycle and all that. Chartered boats, meaning that there are certain places that you can go where you can actually hire a boat. For instance, like if you cycle from KL to Klang and decide to go to Pulau Ketam, you can actually bring your bike on a rented boat and go all the way there and cycle and come back. You know, and then of course, if you're going to Penang, right? After you bag your bike on a train, you go to Butterworth, you come down, you unfold your bike, you set up your bike, you go to the Penang ferry. So this is a very typical sea travel, you know. And some people who have done it, they don't even know when you alert them, oh yeah, I travel on ferry, you know. So these bikes are actually allowed on ferries. And in cases where chartered boats are concerned, some owners, some charter owners, they charge you 5 ringgit additional to carry the bicycles. And sea travel, like I mentioned earlier, is not as common as road, rail, and air travel. You know, not that common because generally we don't have many big islands. You know, we don't have that many big islands where people commute to and fro, except for Penang and Langkawi. And I think I've covered the second part and the third part also. So if you bag one of the advantages, if you bag your bicycles and you carry as part of your luggage, there won't be any additional surcharge because they don't consider it as a bulky item. Gear and equipment. Okay, I've covered the different type of travel. So it comes to gear. When it comes to gear and equipment, okay, what are the type of bikes that are suitable for bike packing? Of course, I'm a big fan of the folding bike. Why folding bike? I will explain after this slide. Okay, under the different type of folding bike, you have the 16-inch, which is the most convenient size for carrying because it's very small. And then you have the 20-inch, which is a standard bike. I think one of our friends here actually rode his 20-inch Dahon Speed P8, which is one of the most versatile bikes. You know, you can do so many things with it. And of course, the larger 26-inch that you can find almost anywhere. And between 20 and 26, let's say, for example, you have a double puncture. You fold your bike, you put it in a chartered car, you bring to the nearest town. Any bicycle shop can change your tube for you, or even a tire, because 20-inch and 26-inch is very common. You know, if you go to all those small towns, you see the old ladies riding their rally bike is 20-inch. Right? 26-inch may be a bit of a problem because why? Some towns they don't really go for this. This is basically a mountain bike format. They will go for the larger 700cc or 29-inch. Now, you see, like I mentioned, compared to a full-size bike, The folding bike is very ideal because when you fold it, it's half the size. You know, it's just a little bit bigger than your baggage, and you can carry it with you anywhere. And if you're a weight watcher, you know, like you travel by air and all that, you want a bike that is ultra light, so there won't be any additional surcharge on your baggage. And then in any case where you have a heavy bike, you know, you have a very heavy steel bike, and then you carry a lot of things in your bag, microwave, oven, fridge and all that, that will cost you a bomb. And folding bike, you can do a lot, you know. It's convenient, you know, and most of these bikes now are as good as a full-size bike. Efficiency is disputable, you know, because why? They come with a gearing range, you know. We have the low gear and the high gear, you know. The low gear for all your climbing, the high gear for achieving your speed and distance and all that. And I think that the general rule of thumb is that when you get one of these bikes, they design it simple because of ease of maintenance, you know, and most of these accessories that goes with it are quite affordable. And because of its size, when you fold it, when you bag your bike, you can put in all these cargo compartments for travel. And I'm going to go to the next part. Now you see here, okay, there are a lot of bags here, big bags, small bags, okay? These two bags are basically bicycle covers. This is a full-size bike in a bag. And these guys are going for a long journey. It's a bikepacking. Now, you have the carry-on cover, which packs up to the size of a small saddlebag. Very lightweight. The whole brunt of the bike, the brunt of the weight is actually burdened by a strap. So you strap the frame and you cover it. So this is very, very ideal for travel on rail, you know, where you just bag it, you put it right in front of you, you can see your bike. When you need something more sturdier, that's a stow bag, which is padded and is about this big. Then you have the air porters, one of the most expensive bags around when you go for air travel, and the large bicycle bags. You can actually bring a 26-inch bike, full-size bike on a bag like that. Okay, when I mentioned carry-on covers, it's a very lightweight product. You can carry it in your waist pack and all that to cover your bike. It doesn't offer protection. It tears easily, and if you drop your bike, there it goes. And you have the tougher stow bag. These people call this cumbersome, you know. Stow bag is padded. I've actually seen stow bag surviving a flight from California to Taiwan and back. Okay, that means the baggage handler really gentle, pick up your bike, put it nicely for you. They don't throw it. And the air porter, this is serious bike packing. You want to go to Alaska from KL and ride your bike. Make sure that you arrive safely on destination and ride it. This will be the bike. I mean the medium to carry your bike. And another aspect of the whole process is preparing for a bike packing trip. Now you see here, this is a 16-inch bike. 16-inch bike with all the bells and whistles and a small rack to carry light stuff. This bike weighs about 9 kilos. It's easy to transport, and it's one of the most ideal sizes for bike packing. And here, the entire process involves planning, preparation, and lastly, the execution part, where you actually, you know, set out your bike and start riding. Now, let's talk about planning. When you choose to bike pack, right, you want to find a time and a reasonable place to do it. Now, a lot of people, I think I've discussed with some of my friends here, a lot of people, they have bicycles, they don't know where to go. You know, they don't have resources, they don't have people to tell them what to do or where to go. So it's quite important for you to research a bit on the dates lah, okay? And then you mark off a few days from your schedule which you feel comfortable going. That means you already made preparation, you tell your neighbor you're going away, ask them to feed your dogs and cats, make sure that if anybody try to break into your house, give you a call and all that, all the preparation. And then secondly, make arrangement for transport. Now, when I say transport, if you plan to take a train to Taiping, you don't just bring your bag to the counter and buy the ticket, because there are times where there's no ticket. So you have to buy your tickets in advance and make sure that you get the correct timing lah. So most of the northbound train, they leave KL Central at 8:45 in the morning. So you got to give at least 2 hours to carry everything, because when you travel with your bike, this involves an additional bag for your bike, then your own barang-barang. So you got to think twice as hard. So it's very important for you to arrange all these things. Transport, number one, your train, your bus, your flight, or your ferry, from your point A to point B, and then your accommodation. Now, a lot of people assume that I can go there, I can find a place to stay. You end up all the hotel fully booked, Then you'll be worse than a Bangla fella, sleeping on the roadside with your bag. So you got to make sure that you have accommodation. And usually, if you want to go to a town outside KL, there are a lot of good offers lah. You do an internet search. There are a lot of good 3-star budget hotel that accommodates small bicycle. If you give the reception person a call, ask them nicely, do you accept bicycles in your room? What kind of bike? I say a folding bike. I think they will gladly accept you. And your bicycle will be a conversation piece in the hotel. People will talk about it. And sightseeing arrangements. Okay, let's say for example, you go to Taiping. Okay, you want to see some of the old buildings. This bicycle, a folding bike, is a perfect way to go about. Because why? You can take your own sweet time, cycle around these places, go into all these corners without getting in people's way. And also, like say from Taiping, you want to go to Port Well. You can actually get information. And it's a really nice ride from Taiping to Port Well, about 25 km through the old railroad track, where you can see all these kampong, all the changes that took place, all the way down to Port Well. These are the places that you can see within 3 days, 2 nights. And then, like I say, all these special offer, you have all these local internet sites, Expedia, which you can take advantage of for your flight, your accommodation, and all that. You have it properly planned, and if you take their offers, it's a whole lot cheaper. Of course, if you share with the traveling companion, it's even more cheaper. You cut your expenses by half. And a lot of people ask, what is the ideal length for a bikepacking trip? Very subjective. You can go on a day trip. You can actually go to Seremban. You can take the commuter, bag your bike, the earliest train, and go to Seremban, unfold your bike, travel around Seremban, and take half a day trip. There has been day trippers, going all the way to Kuala Kubu Baru to experience the jungle ride and all that. And then of course you have people who prefer to spend the night, where all your planning involves accommodation and all that. Stay in a hotel, maybe you get into town late, you stay one night in the hotel, the next morning you cycle around town, then you go back. And then of course there are trips involving more than 3 to 9 days. These are really epic bikepacking. Which means if you go to Ipoh, not only you see Ipoh, you want to see the entire Kinta Valley, you want to cycle up to places like Gopeng, you want to go to places like, Batu Gajah, you want to go places like Tanjung Tualang, which is accessible by bicycle. But if you want to go for this kind of trip, you have to be physically fit and disciplined to do so. And of course, when the last point here is that when you have a longer trip, it involves more expenses, and then of course, more planning. And in terms of preparation, it's always good to get in shape. If you're in good shape, then you can do more things. If you're not in a good shape, By the time you reach your town, carry all your bike and all that, you'll be tired. You spend more time sleeping in the hotel than sightseeing. Of course, I recommend training, train your lower and upper body strength. Do some hills, do some straight and all that, or do both to get yourself in the best shape. Because why? If you're in a good shape, you get more out of your bicycle. And then for overseas travel, one very important thing is your travel document, visas, your currency, and all your accommodation. The rule of thumb is that all this should be sorted out before you leave. There's no room for you to run around like a headless chicken over there. Once you do this, your trip will be flawless. And of course, you research your place, and then Murphy's law, not everything will turn out the way you plan it. You go to one place, cycle 40 km, sweat like a pig. You go there, habis, the place closed. You got to have plan B. So where's the nearest destination you can go and sightsee? Of course, the rule for safety is that when you ever travel on the road, okay, you're riding a bicycle, you're also using the road. There are many road users, bus, all this big vehicle, heavy vehicle on the road. So it's advisable for you to give your contact number to a person that you can trust, so that in case of emergency, right, you carry something in your wallet or in your passport, a slip of paper, writing the name of your contact number. So anything happen to you, the person that knows about your journey can be reached. And another thing that a lot of people overlook is insurance. This is very useful. Okay, hopefully it won't happen if you travel, you fall down in a foreign country, you have a very bad injury. Insurance will take care of it. And whenever you travel, these are all the basics, bicycle tools, inner tubes, patch kit, right? One reason why to be self-sufficient is that if you travel overseas, you don't know how to change inner tube, they charge you $10 US, $15 US. Some people even ask you for your belongings, to get the job done. And also to me, very crucial is that before you start your journey, you know that your bike is going to be frequently used. Service your bike. Check your brakes, check your tire wear, everything, if you have a bicycle with gears, check your gear transmission. Your front derailleur, rear derailleur should be in the best condition for the job. And then for your personal well-being, first aid kit, medication, that's a normal thing. And of course, at all time, this is very, very important. Your helmet, your lights, your blinkers and all that. These are the things that you should have with you at all time whenever you're cycling. By doing so, you're setting a good example for other bikers and your personal safety. And this is an example of a bicycle ride. This to Batu Gajah. We cycled to Ipoh. We took a train to Ipoh and began our journey. And you can see all the bikes are small bikes. Batu Gajah Ipoh. And then these are the things that you can see along the way, all the old colonial housing that is making way for progress. And this is en route to Taiping. This is actually beside the Ipoh Butterworth Road. And what you see there, the lane there is actually the old railway track. And one of the most interesting aspect when you bike pack is the food. Because when you have a bike, you have the freedom to choose whatever you want to eat, along the way. So a lot of discovery, a lot of good food are found through biking. And like I say, Port Well, very interesting because why? This train station no longer exists. So that's one reason to go for journeys like that, which is not too stressful. It's purely flat on the road. And these are the kind of things you get to see, Maybe another 10, 20 years, it won't be there anymore. And like I say again, food, And to make this happen, okay, to make this happen, so that you have a pleasant journey and a memorable trip, obey traffic rules. Very simple lah, you know, don't be a mak rempit on the road lah, you know. You respect other users, people respect you, okay. And then more than often lah, you know, people hurt themselves because they overexert. You know, they want to see more, they want to squeeze in more places, you know. They want to roll up everything in one short time. They end up either getting lost, getting tired, or injured. So if you plan it properly, right? You plan it properly, then you won't end up in such a predicament. And then give yourself time to recover. You know, sometimes when you go bike pack, there are places with very, very tough gradient. You know, 25-degree climb, and you're talking about 30, 40 kilometers of hills. When you reach that place, you're half dead. You need to recover. In my case, I recover, I go for beer, you know, my friend. But you need the proper rest to do so. So when it comes to the tougher journey, you might need to break, you know, you might need to break the journey into a longer period, you know, between 3 days to 9 days. And like I say, bikepacking is fun. You know, you get your friends to do it. You get nice, really good memories of the places you go. And then when you do it properly, it'll be seamless, you know. People won't stop you from boarding train and all that, you know. And this is a result of proper planning. And with that, I conclude my talk. I hope you have gained some knowledge from this. And of course, you know, thank you very much, Mr. Fu. Okay, and thank you all for attending this workshop. So hopefully I can see you on the next series of talk by the forum. And you know, and once again, thank you for your support and thank you for coming. Okay.